is the 24th day of March 2024. I hope and trust you've had an amazing Palm Sunday. Finally, after a 4-week break, I'm glad to be back on your screen to continue keeping you informed. A very good evening to you and welcome to Hope TV Newswatch. My name is Kennedy Kimani. Now let's get straight into it. And President William Ruto has said that he has no problem being called names so long as he is focused on the destiny of the country. Speaking today at the ACK Bahati Church in Nairobi, the head of state singled out the affordable housing program as one of the initiatives that will create jobs for young people and ensure decent homes for Kenyans, especially those living in the slums. Alice Diana begins our bulletin with the following report.
Despite a section of Kenyans and politicians opposing some initiatives being implemented by the Kenya Kwanza government, President William Ruto says he has no problem being called names so long as he is focused on the destiny of this country. Addressing congregants of the Anglican Church of Kenya Emmanuel Church in Bahati, Nairobi County, the president singled out the affordable housing program as one of the initiatives that will create jobs for the young people and ensure decent homes for Kenyans, especially those living in slums. Before the end of the year, the president announced at least 30,000 houses will be under construction in Nairobi County, with the majority of the units in Makadara constituency.
Katika hii harakati ya kujenga, tutakuwa na watu wengi ambao hawaoni mahali tunaenda, lakini baadaye watakuja kuelewa where we are going. I have absolutely no issue with whatever is being said left, right, and center. My focus is to make sure that we change our country.
The head of state explained that tenants in national government or county houses won't be evicted to pave way for the construction of affordable houses. Instead, the affected tenants will be moved and paid the equivalent of 2 years' rent so that their lives or those of their children are not disrupted. On matters health, the president stated that the laws and regulations that have been passed are aimed at ensuring that anyone who falls sick gets attention.
Mpango yetu kwa matibabu na mumesikia vile tumepanga. Tumepitisha sheria zote, tumepitisha regulations zote, sasa tutakuwa na mfumo mpya. Haya mipango yote ni kwa sababu tunataka tukisimama mbele ya Mungu tuweze kusema we did something to make sure that nobody slept hungry. We did something to make sure that those who were sick got attention.
Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja said the county will work closely with the national government to ensure successful implementation of the affordable housing project. On the doctors' strike, the governor said medics in Nairobi have no business being on strike because the issues they are raising have nothing to do with the county.
So the doctors of Nairobi, you get your insurance, your salary is on time. Why are you rioting or striking because of a different employer? Your Excellency, what you're doing at the national level, tafadhali utuma madaktari warudi kwa county zao to the employers. I will deal with mine in Nairobi. And I've told them, if you're interested in serving Nairobians, because hawa mimi niko na contract na watu wa Nairobi kuwapatia huduma, tumeka madawa. Hospitali hata hapa iko na madawa for the first time. We're hiring these people. We are paying them. If you're a doctor and you're interested in working in Nairobi, be in hospital. I told them that on Thursday. On Friday, I had 60% of them reporting back to work. They came back to work. Monday, nimeandika barua ya wale 40% watuambie kama wanataka kazi. Kama wataki, kuna wengi wanataka kazi ya kuwa daktari.
Makadara MP George Aladwa commended President Ruto for supporting former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's bid for the African Union Commission chairmanship, while ACK Nairobi Diocese Bishop Joel Waweru asked Kenyans to respect elected leaders.
Nataka kushukuru rais kwa kukubali kiongozi wangu wa chama changu cha ODM Raila Amolo Odinga kumuunga mkono kukuwa chairman wa AU. Sisi kama watu ODM tunasema asante kwa hiyo support unapatia ndugu yako Raila Amolo Odinga.
In the book of Exodus chapter 28 and verses 32, the Bible warns us kumtukana kutomheshimu kiongozi wa nchi. You should know that. Kazi yetu ni kumuombea na kuombea serikali.
Alice Diana, Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you so much, Alice, for that report. Now, First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto joined the families, friends, and the fellow students at the Kenyatta University today for a memorial service of the 11 students who perished last week in a road accident. Mama Rachel, who is an alumna of KU, termed the accident as unfortunate, as the 11 were not just students, they were also family members in their respective homes. She urged all the motorists to exercise caution at all times on the roads. Meanwhile, the President, William Ruto, has donated 2 million shillings to help in the send-off of the 11 students who died in the accident. This comes after the university appealed for financial support to aid in the send-off plans. The 11 students who were among a group of 58 who were heading to Mombasa for an academic trip when one of their school buses collided with a trailer at Maungu in Voi.
As an alumni of Kenyatta University, I'm sad to see the lives of our comrades put off so suddenly. The 11 souls we lost were not just students, they were family, both here at college and at their respective homes. They were bright students, full of potential, eager to learn, graduate, and go out to conquer the world. I offer my deepest sympathy. We stand with you in solidarity, offering our love, support, and prayers during this difficult time. We are heartbroken because we have lost future leaders in different spheres of life. They were shining examples to their peers and the pride and joy of their families and communities. Some were the only hope their families had, as they had invested everything to ensure their children got a quality education. To all motorists, my plea is that we exercise caution at all times. Let us be more vigilant and courteous on our roads, ensuring our safety and that of other road users.
These 11 students died at a very young age. A number of them were 21, 22 years. Indeed, it was at the very prime age that they passed on. Their dreams, their aspirations, and the potential they had ahead was enormous. Due to the hard work, they had positioned themselves to serve this country in several other ways in the future, and indeed, the opportunity was there for them. But unfortunately, the worst enemy man took the merit obituary. There's nothing we can do at this particular time apart from to cling the promises of God.
That and the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has said that the government will not abandon the ongoing nationwide fight against illegal liquor and narcotics. The DP made the remarks today when he visited a Murang'a widow whose 7 sons were killed by illicit brews. The Deputy President comforted Mama Grace at Kiharu constituency in Murang'a County in the company of leaders led by Murang'a Governor Irungu Kang'ata.
As a government, we are determined to do whatever we can to save other mothers from this anguish. And we have come out with very serious measures, and we want to ask for support from the church, from leaders, from everybody. Because even yourselves, the people of the press, you can see what is happening. And we want to appeal to merchants of death, those people who manufacture and distill poison, distribute it and sell it disguised as alcohol, to have some heart, to have some empathy. The story of Wahoo should touch their hearts. Even if their hearts are of iron, I think this story here can melt them a little bit, for them to be merciful, to have some mercy to these parents. We ask the support of everybody. We are going to change the law. We are asking the governors to cooperate, and they are willing to do so that we take away from them the licensing function to NACADA. Our members of parliament are here. They'll help us to fast track. Then the governors can collect the revenue, and then they can remove themselves from the process so that it's not politicized. and a CADA can license who needs to be licensed, and the county government can collect the revenue. And I think this battle will be won.
A story that has been making headlines in the recent days, and the Council of Governors is asking doctors across the country to reconsider their ongoing strike, saying the effects have been devastating, resulting in deaths. Speaking in Chogoria, the chairperson of the Council of Governors Health Committee, Governor Mudomi Njoki, said that now 13 days strike is hurting Kenyans, and the doctors should come to the table for discussions which is hopeful will yield fruit soon. Consequently, the governor has noted that the government is willing to address some of the issues doctors are demanding immediately, while others will be implemented later on. The COG Health Committee chairperson has at the same time lauded doctors in county hospitals for not joining the strike.
We are ready as a government to cooperate, but it is not possible to do it in one day. We must have a workable solution where we must trust each other. Tukisema internship tutafanya within the month of June, ama ifanywe mwezi wa August, kwanza kulipa ndio tupitishe budget. The union should understand. Tukisema universal health coverage hatuwezi waandika na siku moja mpaka ikuwe gradual. Madaktari mpaka waelewe, because at the end of the day tukienda mgomo mpaka patients wetu waishe, we are being retrogressive with our health sector, which we have done so much. Kwa hivyo nauliza union, hata kama tunaongea tunagoma. Mgomo is a way of making a statement. By now we have heard you. Not only hearing you, we have felt you. We know you are crucial. We know your issues are not being met, and there is no way we can work retrogressively or any other way. We must work to ensure that your end of the bargain is met. Lakini na nyinyi rudini kazini ili watu wetu waache kukufa kwa sababu ya kukosa matibabu ya daktari.
Now, Frida Mokaya Boyani is tomorrow set to be sworn in as the new Chief Registrar of the Judiciary. Mokaya was appointed after a competitive recruitment process where 6 other candidates were interviewed for the post. Mokaya replaces Anne Amadi, whose term came to an end this year. Mokaya, who is set to become the 3rd Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, will serve for a 5-year term as the Chief Administrator and Accounting Officer of the Judiciary. She will also be the Secretary to the Judicial Service Commission, as well as the Secretary to the National Council on Administration of Justice. Anne Amadi replaced Gladys Sholei as the 2nd Chief Registrar of the Judiciary since the position was formed after the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution. The Kenya Kwanza government has been urged to build trust with Kenyans. While making the remarks today during his sermon at Sitam Valley Road Church, senior pastor and immediate former Deputy Bishop Karita Mbagara say that part of the reason that Kenyans are jittery about the taxation is because trust has already been eroded. Reverend Karita's remarks come days after President William Ruto signed into law the controversial housing levy bill, paving the way for the government to continue collecting 1.5% of our workers' monthly pay.
This is my opinion, that even in the leadership of our government, the most important thing is for us to have trust. Part of the reason why Kenyans are anxious about and maybe jittery about the taxation, not because it is high, which it is, and I think it needs to be capped, but not just because of that, but because trust has already been eroded. Kenyans are wondering, is this money going to be used for what we are being told it is going to be used, in? Are we actually going to build houses? Or is this another, going to be another scandal in the making, that money will be gathered, but it will find its way to the pockets of individuals? Why are you looking like I am speaking to people who are not in this country? We have had our leaders break trust for so long, that every time they talk of money, we are very, very careful. And I hope the government is listening. Let us have trust, build trust, and Kenyans will support those projects. If indeed the houses will be there for people to occupy, if we will have people that will say, we will deliver in so many days, and they actually deliver, like I hear our disciplined forces, like the military, for example, they say they will build something, they build within the time. But outside there, from experience, it doesn't happen.
Now, in an effort to inspire greater participation among Kenyans in land investment ventures, a collaborative alliance comprising of real estate experts and religious figures in collaboration with the House of Properties has emerged to offer guidance. They aim to clarify the complexities of land investment, highlighting its economic advantages. With the wisdom of elders and the moral guidance of religious leaders, the initiative strives to cultivate informed decision-making and ethical land management practices, ensuring prosperity for future generations. Here is Kate and Diego with more.
To promote land ownership among Kenyans, Richard, a pastor from the SDA Church, addressed attendees during a title deed issuance event at Hyssop Properties in Nakuru. He shared biblical insights emphasizing that God encourages land ownership, citing it as a significant triumph in biblical history. Additionally, he called upon the government to implement monitoring regulations aimed at reducing instances of land fraud and scams.
I want to encourage young people and the Christians in general that God is not against owning a home. When Moses was giving his counsel to the people of Israel, he told them that build homes, plant crops, and build houses. Even though we know that Christ is coming, but yet it is important for us to own a home. And my advice to the young people is that you may have your priorities, but land is a very important priority because the cost of land does not wait. It only keeps on upgrading time and again.
On his part, Naftali Mwangi, the CEO of Hyssop Properties, expressed concerns about the recent government amendment on land, expressing the considerable financial burden this imposes on investors. He urged the government to reconsider and make the regulation more favorable for landowners.
The 2022 amendment bill on land, where every real estate should have a whopping 500 million. This has been tabled in Parliament. So what we have done with the Association of Land Selling Companies, we have gone to Parliament, we have spoken to Parliament, we have spoken to our lawyers, and we need this one to be removed. Basically, we need a repealing of this particular bill, because what will happen? Real estate employs more people than so many other industries. Look at it. Chinese are coming here and making all the money. People are coming from Somalia and they're coming here and making all the money. So why should we be punitive to our own investors by introducing hefty amounts? Who will afford 500 million to start a business?
He also commended the government's affordable housing project, recognizing it as an initiative that complements the efforts of private real estate investors.
The affordable housing program is actually complementing what the real estate companies are doing. The government, through the affordable housing program, there are so many challenges into that. And so what we are doing, we are complementing what the government is doing. We are not competing at all. As you can see, all these people, maybe they have bought affordable housing, but still they need a piece of land. Because let me tell you something about Kenyans. Kenyans don't like uniformity. Someone wants a unique house. I want to do my own mansion. So they are that class of people. There are people who want apartments like the government is doing. So real estate is huge.
Margaret Mbugwa, a newly minted landowner, expressed her satisfaction with the investment, encouraging more young people and Kenyans in general to consider investing in land ownership.
Nasikia vizuri sana na nahimiza watoto wetu wanunue mashamba ndio wapate matitle deed nayo wakuwe na warithi wa mashamba.
During the event, a total of 315 title deeds were issued to recipients from both local communities and Kenyans living in diaspora. Proven lucrative areas for land investment highlighted at the event included Kisii, Nairobi, Nyandarua, and Nakuru County. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Kate Andiego.
Thank you so much, Kate, for that report. Now you're watching Hope TV Newswatch. It's now time for a quick breather. But after the break, I'll let you know why the United Nations is making a renewed call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Stick around.
In order to keep hope alive in the airwaves, Hope Media has a couple of initiatives. Friends of Hope. Friends of Hope is you and I forming a team of well-wishers and volunteers who give in cash and kind to support in spreading the gospel at Hope Media. Currently, Hope Media is running a campaign under Friends of Hope dubbed 100 for 1. Through the campaign, Hope Media is asking Hope FM and Hope TV listeners and viewers to give just 100 shillings in order to reach one more soul with the message of hope and the gospel. Engage with us on our social media platforms at Hope FM Live and at Hope TV Kenya. Kuwa rafiki mso leo.
Thank you for choosing Hope TV, the channel that brings you hope, entertainment, and inspiration. We value you and would like to serve you better. Talk to us by scanning this QR code on your screen or go to our social media page at Hope TV Kenya and click on the survey link by the name Hope TV Survey. It will just take a few minutes but means the world to us. We value your feedback. Hope TV, look and live.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back. You're watching Hope TV Newswatch. Now, Senegalese voters took to the polls today in a delayed presidential election against a turbulent political backdrop that has triggered violent anti-government protests and boosted support for the opposition. There are 19 contenders vying to replace President Macky Sall, who is stepping down after a second term marred by unrest over the prosecution of firebrand opposition leader Ousmane Sonko and concerns that Sall wanted to extend his mandate past the constitutional limit. The incumbent is not on the ballot for the first time in Senegal's history. His ruling coalition has picked former Prime Minister Amadou Ba as its candidate. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Gutterz has made a renewed call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Speaking from the Egyptian side of the Rafah crossing with the enclave, Gutterz called on Israel to give total access to humanitarian goods throughout Gaza. A UN-backed food security assessment said that 1.1 million people in Gaza were struggling with catastrophic hunger and starvation, adding that a man-made famine in the north was imminent between now and May. The Rafah crossing is one of the main points of entry for aid into Gaza, where long queues of trucks with aid are waiting for Israeli approval to cross. Western countries and aid groups have criticized Israel over its inspection process, which is blamed for slowing down the entry of much-needed help.
It is time for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire. a long line of blocked red relief trucks on one side of the gates, the long shadow of starvation on the other. That is more than tragic. It is a moral outrage. Any further onslaught will make things even worse. Worse for Palestinian civilians, worse for the hostages, and worse for all people of the region. All this demonstrates that it is more than time for an immediate ceasefire. I say it again. It is time for an ironclad commitment by Israel for total and unfettered access for humanitarian goods throughout Gaza. And in the Ramadan spirit of compassion, it is also time for the immediate release of all hostages.
Now to some sports in action. The stage is set for an electrifying showdown as the highly anticipated 2024 WRC Safari Rally draws near. Scheduled to take place from the 28th to the 31st of March in Naivasha. This iconic event promises high-speed action, fierce competition that will captivate fans around the globe. With an impressive lineup of 29 entries comprising top contenders from across the world, anticipation for the rally has reached fever pitch. The Safari Rally marks the third round of the 2024 World Rally Championships, following Rally Monte and Rally Sweden.
Yeah, first I need to get used to the temperature here. It's very hot, obviously compared to what we have in France. Donc I need to get used to it, and also the landscape is completely different. So yeah, quite a shock at the moment, but very nice. For sure, it's a difficult rally, especially for the cars. So our hope is to score a lot of points in WRC2 because we are not a lot of drivers. So if we manage to avoid the troubles, I think we should score good points, and for the championship, this is what we need.
Really looking forward to the race. We know it's rain season as well, so it's going to be probably a different challenge than what we've seen in the previous years. But it's always exciting to be here, and it's some kind of adventure and much different than all the other rallies.
Of course, we try and always arrive as prepared as we can. Yeah, of course, we have to find the balance between being prepared and relaxed. So nothing new for us.
Moving on, and Barcelona ladies and Lysa FC from Laikipia were crowned the Central Region champions of the Safaricom Chapa Dimba 4th edition after triumphing in the regional finals held at the Wanguru Stadium in Kirinyaga County. Barcelona ladies, the two-time winners and defending champions of the Safaricom Chapa Dimba Central Region, successfully defended their title for the third year in a row after beating their opponent St. Joseph from Oranga with a resounding 5-0 victory. In the boys category, Lysa FC from Laikipia County staged a remarkable comeback after initially trailing 1-0 to secure the inaugural regional title in the Safaricom Chapa Dimba tournament. They defeated M-Pesa Foundation Academy from Kiambu County 3-2 in a thrilling and nail-biting match.
Game ya jana hiyo timu tulikutana nayo ndio ilikuwa hard kuliko yenye tumecheza nayo ya leo. Hii ya leo tumekuwa na communication, tumekuwa tunaambiana mtu akikosea unamrectify na ana correct, umwambia ball inakuwa rahisi kwetu na tunawin.
Tunaandaa timu yetu kwenda vile national huko Kisumu. Najua saizi itakuwa rahisi kwangu kidogo. Manake ile preparation zingine ilikuwa wanafunzi walikuwa shuleni na si ni club. So unapata wanatoka shule tofauti. But baada ya wiki ijayo watakuwa wamefunga shule. So ku prepare kwenda kule nationals at least itakuwa rahisi kwangu kidogo.
Leo game haikuwa rahisi. Lakini tumengangana, tumefight our way through it. Imekuwa ngumu, they know ball pia. Haikuwa one sided. Lakini football is a game of chance. Ametupa zao, tumefunga zetu, and that's why we are winners.
Ni mara ya kwanza tumeingia kwenye Chapa Dimba, lakini vijana walikuwa shakuwa determined. Vijana wako tayari, wako safi, prepared kushinda. So sisi hatukuwa tunakuja kama watu wa mara ya kwanza, tumekuja kama watu ambao tumejipanga kujua kitu tumekuja kutafuta. Na kusema ukweli, tumeipata. Tutachange vitu 2-3. Tukifika muda wa kwenda Kisumu tutakuwa tayari sana kupambana na yule ambaye atakuja upande wetu.
And finally, Harambee Stars captain Michael Olunga scored twice as Kenya silenced the host Malawi with a 4-0 victory in the Four Nations tournament held in Lilongwe on Saturday evening. Ayub Timbe and John Aviras also contributed to the scoreboard. Stars will face Zimbabwe in the final match on Tuesday, a side that won against Zambia on post-match penalties after the two sides drew 2-2 in regular time. The Four Nations tournament is a FIFA-sanctioned annual football league held on the silence of the recent Africa Cup of Nations to keep the teams engaged during the continent's main tournament break. Well, and that's it. We've come to the end of our news tonight. I really do appreciate you for making time for us. We don't take it for granted. On behalf of the amazing team that made this possible, have yourselves a peaceful night and a blessed Passion Week ahead. My name is Kennedy Kimani.